Hello everyone, welcome to Living Off the Slab. I'm Craig Ripley. Now, as you can see behind me and from the clothes I'm wearing, you can probably tell that it's getting a little bit late in our riding season up here in New England. The leaves are falling off the trees, they've already turned colors, and we're in the process of now having to pick all this stuff up and get ready for the winter, unfortunately. Won't be too long and we'll be having to bring the snow blowers down into the garage and push the bikes to the back. Again, that's always my saddest day of the year when that happens. But unfortunately, it's just not too far away anymore. So for today, before we ended with our riding season, I thought it was time to end this series of videos that I've been doing on me purchasing a new adventure touring bike and go ahead and introduce that bike to you. But before I do, I want to just give a little bit of overview for those people who are just getting into this series of videos of how I got to this point. My current bike is a Victory Vision touring bike. That I just absolutely love. My wife and I travel all over the country on it and we just love it. It's really great, it's really comfortable, and I plan on keeping it. But I've been thinking for the last couple of years about getting a second bike, something that I could just go out on my own, do some things that the Vision is just too big to do, and also, you know, go camping and get off-road a little bit. So I've been thinking about getting a new adventure touring bike. So now my search for this bike really got going last year at the International Motorcycle Show down in New York City. Before then, I had just been doing searching online, reading magazine articles, getting all the information I could about the different touring bikes that were out there, or adventure touring bikes. But when I went down to New York City, I visited every booth of every major manufacturer going, checking out all of their bikes and seeing which ones that I was really interested in. So when I first started, I didn't rule out any bikes. I was looking at things from 650 cc's all the way up to 12 or 1300 cc's. In the end, I decided that I wanted something that was a little bit bigger, primarily because I'm looking for something that's going to be comfortable, long distance, and something that has the cruise control, as well as has that little extra power for when I'm out on the road. Because I do a lot of long highway driving. Even though I want to get off-road a little bit on this bike, I want to do some solo touring on back roads and so forth, I know that to get to the places I want to go, I'm going to have to put in some highway miles, so I want it to be comfortable out there on the slab. Now the criteria that I was working with was several things. One, I wanted the bike to be comfortable. Two, I wanted to have cruise control, again, for that comfort and that rideability while I'm doing highway miles. Three, I wanted the bike to have enough power that it would get me out of trouble if I needed it. I also wanted the bike to be reliable, right? I didn't want something that's going to potentially break down or I was going to have trouble with the dealer network. Now, intangible things outside of the bike, I was also looking to find a dealer that I trusted, that I would want to have a relationship with going forward, because I don't want to just buy the bike from them. I want to have it serviced there. I want to get accessories and so forth from them as well. So I need a good relationship with the dealer. The 5 bikes that I decided I wanted to take a look at included the Ducati Multistrada 1200S, the BMW 1200 GSA, the KTM 1290 Super Adventure, the Triumph Tiger Explorer, and the Yamaha Super Tenere. Those of you who have been following my video series know that I was able to ride 3 of these 5 bikes. I was able to ride the Ducati Multistrada, the KTM 1290 Super Adventure, and the Yamaha Super Tenere. The other 2 bikes I've had a little bit of difficulty getting a hold of. The BMW GSA just isn't available right now. There's nothing around at any of the dealers in my area. There'll be some new bikes coming in the springtime, but I honestly have set a goal for myself to purchase this bike by the end of this riding season so I can start fresh in 2016. The last bike that I was trying to ride was, of course, the Triumph. And I've had trouble finding a dealer that will let me ride one of those. There are basically 2 dealers within my area, about an hour each way from me. One of them says they just don't do demo rides, period. Like, okay, well, then I just won't buy from you, period. The other dealer says that they have bikes that they will let me demo, but it was still in the crate, and that I should send them an email telling them what I wanted to ride. So I have done that, and they have not responded to my email. So apparently they don't really want me to ride the bike either. Also, I checked back on their website, and their inventory says that the bike is still in the crate, and that's been 3 weeks now going that they haven't put the bike together. So at this point, I'm just moving on. I've got 3 bikes to pick from, and that's what I'm going to work with. All right, before I go on here, I want to thank everybody who's been watching these videos and who's been commenting. There's been just some really great feedback from everybody. It's really been a great experience for me. It's just exactly what I was hoping for when I started these videos, that we would get a conversation kind of going, and it's worked out really great. Now, I know that some of you have said, well, I should still be patient, I should ride the BMW, and I should ride the Triumph. I should wait a little bit longer, wait till the springtime when the new models come out. But I don't know, guys. I've set a goal for myself that I wanted to have this bike purchased by the end of this riding season. And again, I've been looking at these things for, well, about 2 years now. Said really, in earnest since last year about this time. So I'm ready. I'm ready to buy. And of course, I had my favorites before I was going into this, and both of those I was able to ride, and they kind of rose to the top anyway, so it was right where I was expecting to be when I started this whole thing. So those 2 bikes that I was looking at right from the get-go were, of course, the KTM 1290 Super Adventure and the Yamaha Super Tenere. And it really comes down to those 2 bikes, primarily because of their off-road worthiness. I was really surprised that I liked the Ducati as much as I did. It's a really great bike. The only thing that I didn't really like about it, or the reason I ruled it out, was because I don't think it's really off-road capable as much as I would like it to be. I don't really know how much off-road I'm going to do, but I would like a bike that is capable of doing it if I decide to go that route. And I just don't think the Ducati is that bike. I think the KTM or the Yamaha is the way to go here. Comparing these 2 bikes, the KTM and the Yamaha, well, comfort-wise, they're very similar. I think they both have a nice upright riding posture, and their seats were about the same. A tad bit hard, but neither one of them was uncomfortable. I think I could sit in the saddle on either one of them all day long. And of course, they both do have cruise control. Now, as far as the power goes, well, the KTM just blows everything else out of the water. I mean, just the power that you have on hand was just absolutely amazing there. I just watched my video to see my reaction to it. As far as the transmission and the brakes on both of these bikes, they both work extremely well. The transmissions shift nice and smoothly, and also the brakes work very well. The Brimbos are a little bit nicer on the KTM, but the Yamaha does not lack for stopping power either. As far as handling of these 2 bikes, again, very similar. I think that the Yamaha probably handles a little bit better than the KTM, at least that was my initial impression. I think that the KTM seems to hold its weight slightly higher, even though it's a little bit lighter bike. It's about 30 pounds lighter than the Yamaha. But the Yamaha seems to hold its weight down low, and it was really nice and easy to maneuver. Neither one is bad. Very, very close in this regard. As far as reliability goes, well, the Yamaha is going to win hands down here. One, Yamaha is ranked as the most reliable motorcycle brand on the market. And 2, the Super Tenere has been around for a number of years now, and I really can't find any major problems that anybody is having with them. The KTM, on the other hand, well, the 1290 is a brand new bike. So it's up in the air as to how reliable this is going to be. I have read a few things, as far as some electronic issues and so forth here and there on the bike, but again, nothing major so far. I'm sure that there's going to be bugs that they will have to iron out. So as far as reliability goes, I have to give it to the Yamaha here. Also, as far as accessories go, and as far as the dealer network goes, well, the Yamaha wins there as well. There's just tons of things that are available that I could go out tomorrow and buy for the Yamaha, whereas the KTM, again, being a new bike, there isn't that much stuff out there. Will it come out in the future? Well, I'm sure it will, but for right now, there just isn't a whole lot available for the KTM. So since we talked about reliability, let's all talk about the dealers. So first, before I go any farther, I want to give a big shout out to both of these dealers that I was working with on these bikes. right? The guys out at Wagner Motorsports in Worcester, Massachusetts, who's your Ducati, BMW, and KTM dealer out this way, they were great to work with. They made available these bikes for me. They want you to ride them. They want you to experience them so that you can, make your decision out of knowledge, right? Not just reading something in a magazine. Also, the folks at Mom's in Foxborough, Massachusetts, they are the Yamaha dealer in this area, as well as Victory and Indian, and they are just absolutely awesome as well. I've been working with them for a number of years, so I know they're great. I know that they provide good service, so they are a known quantity for me. And as I mentioned, that gave the Yamaha a bit of a leg up when I first started my search here. All right, let's talk about the last difference between these two bikes, and that is kind of the elephant in the room, and that is the price difference, right? The KTM goes for just under $20,000, and the Yamaha goes for just over $16,000. Now, I'm not going to give you the prices that the dealers quoted me because I don't think that that's fair to them, but the difference was about $5,000 when all was said and done. So that's a lot of money, right? I can outfit a Super Tenere with bags and everything that I need on it and still have money left over to go on a really nice adventure before I even get out the door with the KTM. So what I'm left with is the decision, right? Are the things that I am going to get on the KTM, are they worth an extra $5,000? So in the end, the answer to that question, at least for me, is no, right? The KTM, even though it's a great bike, even though it has that gobs of power and so forth, is it really worth an extra $5,000 to me? When I look at reliability, when I look at a dealer that's a known quantity, what is it that I'm really looking for in a bike? Well, I think the Tenere, it clicks off most of the boxes, as a lot of you have said. So that's what I ended up purchasing, the new Yamaha Super Tenere 2015, the ES edition. So far, I've got about 500 miles on this bike, and I'm just really having a blast. I'm commuting on it back and forth to work, as well as I've been on a couple of longer rides on it as well. I'm still getting used to it, but it's really just a blast. I'm really having a great time. It's just so much lighter for me anyway. Even at close to 600 pounds, this bike just really handles well. It stops better. The transmission works better. It's just really amazing the kind of technology that you can get in an adventure bike like this, whether it's from Yamaha or any of the others. The technology level is just really, really up there. Unfortunately, far superior than what you can get in most American bikes. Now, I have already added a couple of accessories to this. Immediately, I wanted to get some crash bars on the bike here, and I also wanted to get a skid plate on the bike. So I looked around and I found the accessories, the skid plate and the crash bar from Alt-Rider that just really made a lot of sense to me, primarily because there are two mounting points down here for the crash bar when most of them on the market only have a single mounting point. And also, both sides of the crash bar, they connect across the front, where a lot of them that I saw didn't. They just had one point. So this seems to really spread out the forces a little bit better. At least it makes sense that it would. I also need to figure out what I want to do back here, and that is with my luggage system. I'm going to definitely put some panniers on this bike. Haven't really decided which ones I'm going with yet. I'm looking at the SW Motec line and also at the TourTech line, and GV has some as well. So I need to take a look at those in more depth and then decide which one I want to put on. I also got to figure out whether I want to put a top case on this or not. I'm definitely going to go with the pannier system, but as far as the top case goes, I don't know yet. I have that dry spec bag from Twisted Throttle. I've got a couple of those, so I can definitely use those to strap on the top if I want. But I don't know yet. I'm going to keep looking into it. As I mentioned in my initial video review on this, the windscreen, well, it's a little bit lacking, and particularly the adjustability of the windscreen from the stock Yamaha brackets was just kind of poor. So I immediately replaced that with a Madstad bracket that gives me a lot more adjustability on it, and it did make a big difference in the the wind protection on the bike just from the stock shield. But I have a new Madstad taller windscreen and a little bit wider coming that I'll be putting on the bike pretty soon. So after I do that, I think I'll be all set as far as the wind protection. Although I may add the Yamaha lower wind deflectors here before too long, so we'll see. All right, gang, I guess that's about it. I am really looking forward to riding this bike more next year, getting off and doing some different kind of adventures. I'm already looking into a couple of classes. I'm going to take a class in April, and I'm going to take this out there. I'm probably going to take this to the track day as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then I'm looking for an off-road class as well, because I really want to learn how to do that properly. So, as I said, I'm really looking forward to this. So far, I really love this bike. I'm having a blast with it, and I'll keep you up to date as things progress.